a video about a slightly different subject, and that's to do more with health and diet. First of all, just say I'm not a dietitian, a nutritionist, or a doctor. I'm just sharing my experience and hoping that it might help you if you're choosing to go down the route of doing the Dukan Diet, or the Dukan Diet. I'm not sure what the pronunciation is. Two reasons. I didn't feel I was looking after my health enough, particularly before Christmas. I put on quite a bit of weight because I wasn't planning meals, I wasn't buying a weekly shop, and I was just grabbing things as I went. And the result of that was, one, putting on weight, not feeling so great about myself, two, being bloated all the time, and three, actually feeling kind of quite ill and not great in myself. The second reason why I decided to go on the diet is I'm getting married in 6 months, and I did want to shift some weight to look good on my day, and that was my own personal decision. So I did some research on different diets, and it was actually a family friend who mentioned that she'd been on this diet, and I checked it out. And I liked the fact that it was quite strict and very clear what I needed to do, what I could eat, what I couldn't eat, and that worked for me. So rather than take you through a day-by-day account of my experience, I thought I'd do a video at the end of my 2 weeks on the Dukan Diet, and that's in the attack phase. The length of time you do it for, you need to read about that in the book. But I decided to do it for 2 weeks, and that's a maximum of which I'll be doing it for. The results were that I lost altogether 5 pounds in my first week and 1 pound in my second week. So I lost a total of 6 pounds, which leaves me with 10 pounds to lose. So I wanted to lose 16 pounds. I'm now about to go on to the cruise stage of the diet, which will take me through the next 3 or 4 months, almost up until my wedding day. And I've chosen to go for the 1 day protein, 1 day protein and vegetables from and greens from the list that it provides, and so on and so forth. I'm going to give you an explanation of the diet because I think you need to go and read it up to really understand it. But the premise of it is that on the attack phase, you only eat protein. I don't eat meat, I eat fish. I'm a pescatarian, so that means I can eat salmon and trout and tuna and anything basically that's not processed and is natural and is a low fat source of protein. My top 5, 2 reasons. I didn't feel I was looking after my health enough, particularly before Christmas. I put on quite a bit of weight because I wasn't planning meals, I wasn't buying a weekly shop, and I was just grabbing things as I went. And the result of that was, one, putting on weight, not feeling so great about myself, two, being bloated all the time, and three, actually feeling kind of quite ill and not great in myself. Plan your meals, and it does advise this, but I really would suggest it. So if you've got a diary planner in your phone or a paper one like I have here, I would monitor your weight, so take your weight at the beginning, and you might want to do your measurements as well. I didn't. Just to give you a brief look at mine, it's got my breakfast, lunch and dinner and everything I've planned out for, every single day. And it's really important because I think when you're starting a new diet, it's easy to feel discouraged or, finding it a bit difficult to get used to, and therefore you don't want any reasons to trip up. And if you've planned all your meals, then sure, you can mix them up if you want and swap your Thursday with your Monday or whatever like that. You're not stuck to it, but you're not having to think. And I think that's the thing, is when you're tired, you don't think about what you're putting in your mouth, so you go for the easiest option. And I know I'm like that, and I always tend to go for carbs, and carbs are what really put weight around my waist, which is my main sort of problem area. Drink lots of water. It says to drink 1.5 litres. I realise that I've been highly dehydrated for probably most of my adult life because I drink maybe 1 or 2 glasses of water a day, which is far off the recommended amount. It's hard to change to drinking that much water. You've got to consciously make yourself do it. But what I found was, at work or at home, if you can get hold of one, I had a plastic jug I took into work, and I just filled that up in the morning, put a cup next to it, and it was a visual reminder to keep drinking throughout the day. I felt so much better for doing it. I felt better in myself. I wasn't bloated, and I didn't get that kind of slumping, tired feeling in the afternoon that I used to get at work. where I'd then go and get chocolate or crisps or something sugary to bump me up. So you don't get those tired slumps in the day, which is really good, the dips. Make sure you eat your oatmeal. I have mine with vanilla low-fat yogurt, which is really nice, so you don't even taste the oatmeal. It's really filling. I have it with 2 tablespoons of vanilla low-fat yogurt. You could have any low-fat yogurt, whatever flavour you like. It's really nice for breakfast, and it's something I think I'll just keep doing now forever. But it's so important you do it for your bowels, because if you don't, you'll get constipated, which I didn't have a problem with. But you need to be careful, because of the protein diet, it's harder for your kidneys to break it down, and therefore it's really important that you're getting a bit of roughage every day. And because you're not having vegetables or green leaf salads and that kind of thing, you must have your oatmeal. And the Dukan Diet book gives you all kinds of suggestions of how you eat it, but I never bothered with any other recipes. I just went for yogurt in the morning, and that was nice. So you get a little bit of dairy, which you're allowed. The Dukan site and other sites that I found online, which I'll link below in the description bar, use those for different recipes. It's important to mix things up, be creative. I got a lot more interested in my food, funnily enough, in a way when my diet became restricted, because I had to be more creative about making it interesting and fun each night. I would suggest, if you can, clear your diary of social events if possible. It can be really hard sometimes with work, but if you're not going out to eat, you're not putting yourself in a position where it's difficult to know what food to choose. And unless you're being able to decide the restaurant, and you know the menu, and you know you'll be able to have protein, you're always going to end up having a chicken dish with vegetables, or a fish dish with vegetables, or something that you can't eat. And you've got to eat that fish and then put that plate away to the side with all this other food. And it's really embarrassing, because you feel like you're wasting it. And then you have to deal with, staff saying, oh, was there something wrong with the food or whatever. It's just much, much easier. Don't lead yourself into any kind of temptation. You won't end up having desserts or anything like that. Just focus on your diet for the first 2 weeks. I went out twice this week, and I think it was really good I did a week of not any socialising, because it meant that when I went out, I was perfectly happy with the fact that I wasn't drinking. I was just having water or Diet Coke, and I ordered a dish, just fish, and that was fine for me. And I wasn't going to be torn by any, oh, no, have some chips, have this, have that, because a lot of people tend to do that when you're trying to diet. So the pros of the diet, I would say, are I never feel bloated, which I always used to get bloated stomach after most of the meals that I had. I always feel full. I don't get hunger cravings like I used to. I don't get to lunchtime and think, oh my God, I'm going to keel over if I don't eat soon, which I think always led to overeating in my instance. Cons, I would say, at the beginning, I really craved sugar, and I'm not a sugary person, which is strange. So I'm not a chocolatey person, I'm more of a savoury person, but I could have murdered someone for a chocolate bar. So I just want to pre-warn you that there are some cravings, and for the first few days, all you can think about is all the stuff you're not allowed to have. But I think when you get over that and you focus on all the stuff you can have, you think, right, well, how interesting can I make this diet? And then you can start being a bit more experimental. Tiredness. I think I am more tired than I usually am. Work has been heavy, but without any carbohydrates, you haven't got very much energy from the food that you're eating. So you feel full, but you're not getting that kind of burst of energy and food that you're really burning off quickly, which I guess is what gives you that kind of push forward, after lunch, where you suddenly feel, full of energy and ready to go. So that's been a bit hard, and it's winter and the weather's rubbish and it's cold, and I think that doesn't help. But if you can get through the first 2 weeks, that's the hardest hurdle, really. So you've just got to persevere with it, and make sure you get lots of sleep and rest, and just look after yourself. My fan foods are crab sticks, or fish sticks, as some people call them. That's been a bit hard, and it's winter and the weather's rubbish and it's cold, and I think that doesn't help. But if you can get through the first 2 weeks, that's the hardest hurdle, really. So you've just got to persevere with it, and make sure you get lots of sleep and rest, and just look after yourself. My fan foods are crab sticks. which I used to have all the time when I was a kid, and they recommend it. I think they either recommend it in the book or one of the blogs that I read. They are great for snacks, and I take those to work. So, and they're really nice as just a little. If you get a little bit bored and you want something to eat, you know, sometimes you have a cup of tea and you're like, oh, I really want to have something to eat after that. Then I have one of those. So glad you can have as much tea or coffee as you want with milk on this diet. Otherwise, I would find that really hard because I'm quite a caffeine person. And if you have sugar, obviously you need to replace that with a sweetener, which you just get used to. My other favourite food is jelly, and this is the one sweet thing that I can have. So I've been buying sachets of jelly, and actually I bought a whole load of plastic cups, and I made the jelly up in the plastic cups, put them in the fridge, and then I could take them to work. And it was much better than having a big bowl of jelly, which you know you tuck into and get a bit gross, and other people would eat it. So either that, or if you've got ramekins around the house, or small glasses. I did them in small glasses, and then you've got them in the fridge as like little treats, and you can eat them any time of the day, which is great. That really got me through the times when I craved something sweet. Overall, I'd say my experience has been really positive. I'm now going on to the cruise phase of the diet. I'm looking forward to having vegetables again. I've really missed greens, and I've really missed fruit. I need to check if I can have fruit. I'm not sure if I can. As far as alcohol, I drank once, and that was Friday, which was our Valentine's dinner. And I wanted to treat myself to that, and I was happy to do that. So prior to that, I'd had dry January. I drank once when we moved into our new home because we just bought, and I drank a couple of glasses of wine at a friend's birthday. Other than that, for about 6 weeks, I think I've drunk 3 times. So not drinking alcohol helps immensely, and that's just a part of the diet. You're not supposed to drink it, and to be quite honest, it's better for me and it's better for my wallet. So I've set myself a swimming challenge, and I'm going to be swimming a mile in an open water race in July, so that's given me something to work towards. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Please leave any comments below, and if you've got any suggestions for interesting meals and ways to kind of mix things up, please let me know. I'd be really grateful for any suggestions, and I wish you luck if you decide to go on the Dukan Diet. Till next time, bye.